Welcome. In the eternal debate about freedom, we often imagine it as a boundless, uninhibited state, the ability to do whatever we please. We are taught that the best government is one that leaves us alone. But what if that is a false promise? What if a life of pure individual liberty is not freedom at all, but a form of slavery to our own impulses? History has given us a man who turned this idea on its head, a thinker who argued that we are born free, but find ourselves chained everywhere, not by tyranny, but by our own selfish desires. He proposed a paradox, that to be truly free, we must be forced to be free, by submitting to a collective will. Today, we delve into the heart of a philosophical puzzle. We have a rare opportunity to sit down with Jean-Jacques Rousseau to discuss his masterpiece, The Social Contract, and the radical notion that true freedom is found in the community, not in isolation. Born in Geneva, Switzerland in 1712, Jean-Jacques Rousseau's early life was a tapestry of hardship, travel, and self-education. Orphaned at a young age, he spent his youth wandering Europe, working as a servant, a tutor, and a musician. Unlike many of his Enlightenment contemporaries who were products of formal education, Rousseau was largely a self-taught intellectual. This unique background gave him a perspective that was deeply skeptical of the conventions and corruption of elite society. His writings on politics, education, and human nature were revolutionary, often placing him at odds with other thinkers and the authorities of his time. He was a champion of the common person and believed in the inherent goodness of humanity, corrupted only by the artificialities of society. His ideas, though often contradictory in their expression, would become a profound inspiration for the French Revolution and continued to challenge political thought to this day. Our conversation today will be centered on Rousseau's monumental work, The Social Contract. Published in 1762, this text is a powerful challenge to the political theories of his day. In it, Rousseau argues that the only legitimate political authority comes from a social contract entered into by the people themselves. He introduces his most famous and controversial concept, the general will. This is not simply the sum of individual desires, but the collective will of the people, aimed at the common good. For Rousseau, true freedom is not found in pursuing our private interests, but in obeying the laws we prescribe for ourselves as a community.
Monsieur Rousseau, thank you for being here. Your book opens with a powerful statement. Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. What do you mean by this?
I mean that we are born with an innate potential for freedom, yet the societies we create, with their arbitrary laws, inequalities, and corrupting influences, have stripped us of it. We live in a state of social enslavement, often to our own desires and the opinions of others, rather than in a state of true liberty.
So, a legitimate government must set us free? How?
A legitimate government is not one that grants us freedom, but one that is based on the social contract. By entering into this contract, each individual surrenders their individual will to the community, creating a new, collective body. In this act, they gain a different and far superior kind of freedom.
This leads us to your most difficult concept, the general will. What is it, and how is it different from the will of all?
The will of all is simply the sum of private interests, what each individual wants for themselves. The general will, on the other hand, is what is best for the community as a whole. It is the common interest. When a law is based on the general will, it is a law that we have given to ourselves, and by obeying it, we are obeying our truest, most rational selves.
But how do we know what the general will is? Can't it be a tool for tyranny?
A person's will is general only when they legislate for themselves. When you vote for a law, you are not voting for what benefits you personally, but for what is best for the entire body politic. The general will is not infallible, but it is the closest we can come to true freedom. It cannot err if the people are not misled and act for the common good.
This brings us to a famous line. You say that a man can be forced to be free. How is this not tyranny?
It is a paradox, I grant you. When a man acts against the general will, he is acting on his selfish, private interests. He is a slave to his own passions. By forcing him to obey the law, we are not enslaving him, but liberating him from his own irrational desires. We are forcing him to act in accordance with the law that his rational, free self has prescribed.
What is the purpose of law in this system?
Law is the instrument of the general will. Laws should never be personal or specific to one person. They must be general and apply to all citizens equally. The purpose of law is to guide the people to the common good, to make sure that the people rule themselves.
You seem to be a critic of representative democracy. Why?
The moment a people chooses representatives, it ceases to be free. The English people believe themselves free, but they are only free when they elect their members of parliament. Once elected, they are slaves. Sovereignty is inalienable. It cannot be represented. The people must be the authors of their own laws.
What is your view on private property? Do you believe it is a natural right?
Private property, in its current form, is a source of great inequality and corruption. The first man who fenced off a piece of land and said, "This is mine," was the true founder of civil society, but also of all its evils. The social contract should ensure that no one is so rich that they can buy another, and no one is so poor that they must sell themselves.
What role does education play in creating the kind of citizen you envision?
Education is fundamental. It is the means by which a man is liberated from his selfish private desires and taught to value the common good. A proper education should not be about memorizing facts, but about fostering a love of virtue and a respect for the community. The goal is to cultivate a virtuous citizen, not a learned one.
You believe in the inherent goodness of humanity. Why do you believe society corrupts us?
Man is naturally good, but he is corrupted by society, with its conventions, its jealousies, and its vanities. We are constantly comparing ourselves to others, and this desire to appear good in the eyes of others leads us to be false to ourselves. Society's artificiality strips us of our natural goodness.
You speak of a civil religion that a society should have. What is this religion?
A civil religion is a set of shared beliefs and sentiments that are necessary for social life. It is not about dogma or external worship, but about a shared belief in the sanctity of the social contract and the importance of the common good. It is a way of ensuring that citizens have a shared moral foundation.
You were an outsider to many of the thinkers of your time. Did you feel that your isolation allowed you to see truths that others could not?
I believe that my isolation was my greatest advantage. It allowed me to see the world as it truly is, without the corrupting influence of salons and academic circles. I saw that the men who claimed to be the most enlightened were in fact the most enslaved to their own vanities. I wrote for humanity, not for the opinions of a few.
In our time, we see a rise in populism and nationalism, which often claim to represent the will of the people. What is your perspective on this?
I would say that the will of the people is a dangerous phrase. It can be a tool of tyranny. The will of a people is not a simple majority. It is not the sum of private interests. It is the general will, and it is based on the common good. If a people are misled by a tyrant who claims to speak for them, they are not acting freely. They're being enslaved. True freedom is found in a genuine, uncorrupted general will, not in a demagogue's empty words.
Today, many societies are struggling with the balance between individual freedom and the collective good. How would your ideas on the general will help us navigate these issues, especially in an age of social media where personal opinions are so easily amplified?
I would argue that your social media is the very embodiment of the will of all. It is a cacophony of individual interests, each shouting for attention, but none speaking for the common good. The great challenge of your age is not to listen to the loudest voice, but to find a way to listen to the silent, rational voice of the general will. You must find ways to foster a shared sense of community and purpose, to move beyond your private opinions, and to seek what is truly best for all of humanity.
Closing reflections and summary. And so our time with Jean-Jacques Rousseau concludes. His political philosophy is not a simple defense of liberty, but a radical reimagination of what freedom truly means. He challenges us to move beyond our private interests and to find our purpose in the collective will of the community. He reminds us that true sovereignty belongs not to a king, but to the people themselves. Rousseau's legacy is a complex one, both an inspiration for revolution and a warning about the potential dangers of a government claiming to represent the collective. His core message, however, remains a powerful one. The legitimacy of government lies in the consent of the people, and the path to a just society is a shared journey towards a common good. Thank you for joining us, and until our next conversation, remember the chains that bind us and the freedom we can find together.